podcast for you. And don't worry, it isn't going to be just this tit waffling on for an hour. Today we have something special for you, in a few senses of the word. Yes, we actually have some special guests for you. First off, we have fresh from his trip to watch us get battered by Forest, which was so bad it gave him the flu. It's Jimmy Cricket's less attractive, less intelligent and much less funny cousin. It is, of course, the legendary Bazza in Louth. But there's more. And that is what he said, right? Anyway, we have another returning hero for you. The man often called the missing link. The man who brought all this together rather than have his wife divorce him for his non-stop moaning about the footy. It is, of course, the legend himself, Ed666. Yes, Sir Bid is back where he belongs, moaning to our huge audience of 3 viewers. And we also have the Klingon on the arse airs of life. It's Seamus, to offer us the viewpoint of a man who's had to get used to his team being shite for about 20 years now.
All right, lads. Without further ado, let's get podding. All right, I'm going to channel my inner Rafa Benitez now, so buckle up. 1, we have lost 9 out of 12 games. Fact. We've spent £450 million in the summer and we're a worse team for it. Fact. The squad has no balance. Fact. Squad has no depth. Fact. The team has no identity. Fact. The confidence in the team is shot to pieces. Fact. A Nottingham Forest team who were 3rd from bottom, managed by Sean Dyche, gave us a footballing clinic on our own pitch. Fact. So tell me, lads, why is Arne Slot and Richard Hughes still at the club? Why are they still in jobs?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why Arne Slot is there. Richard Hughes. I think Tresford knows more about Richard Hughes than I would. But regarding Arne Slot, he should be gone. And I can't see them beating West Ham the weekend. I honestly can't. Because what you said, Abbott, there is the confidence is in the toilet. I cannot see him putting out a team to beat West Ham.
Okay.
Speaking of in the toilet, I heard you were in the toilet all the game against Forest, weren't you?
I was a good bit of it, yes.
Yes. Yes, somebody who went as well.
So tell me, guys, he's lost 8 out of 12 games. Isn't that sackable offence just on its own?
Yes.
Right?
Oh, God.
100%. Unless Seamus is making the decision there.
Yeah, it's a lifetime contract after that.
So why is he still in a job? Hey Seamus, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Seamus.
I'm just enjoying the turmoil at the.
He's come to see his daddy.
Club.
He's loving this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ten Hag 2.0.
He is.
That's ball for us.
If we hadn't won the league last season, there's no way he'd still be in the job. That's what's keeping him in the job.
But if in any industry, if you're performing so badly, surely you'd have lost your job by now. And any other football team, you'd have lost your job by now. So why is he still in the job? Because he won the title last season?
Yes.
I don't understand that. Why has he got so much credit? Because we're Everton are higher than us.
God, don't say that. Fucking hell. Oh my God. Oh God, yeah. That's the worst thing about it is that it's like all the Everton fans in the family, the both of them, have suddenly started every single fucking day messaging.
You mean?
Yeah, they never normally bother with you because they can't say anything about football. So they never talk about football at all. All of a sudden, it's all they want to do is talk football.
You mean the only 2 family members that are talking to you?
They are now, yeah. They weren't before, but now they're all of a sudden they want to talk all the time.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Slot needs to go, right? That's the general consensus. But we've spent £450 million. Surely Richard Hughes has, you've got to blame him. He's the one that pinpointed the players. He bought the players. There's no depth. You've spent £500 million and there's no depth to that squad. There's no balance to that squad.
I did have this discussion. Was it with you, Baz, or was it with? It was on the. It might have been Robbie actually, and we were talking about, it, and he's saying, "What do you think? You know, after the summer about Richard Hughes now?" And I said, "You know, the players. I agree. The players that he's bought, fine. I'm happy with the players. Love the players he's bought, but I do have concerns. One, he hasn't bought the players we actually. You know, we needed another centre back, and we needed a midfielder with a bit of bite, which we didn't get." And not one player did he not pay over the odds for, in my opinion. He paid top dollar for everybody, so we can't even say that he's done a good job in terms of getting a good price for anyone. You know what I mean? So it is, you know, yes, it was a great transfer window in terms of we brought in great players, but we spent a lot more money than we should have done doing so. And I'm just remembering I've got to look at the camera because the camera's on top of the screen rather than you lot on the screen, sorry. We spent a lot more money than we should have, and we didn't actually address the real problems in the team. So
How is it a great transfer? How is it a great transfer window when he doesn't buy a left-sided winger when Diaz has gone? Because Gakpo, he's from last year. He's one-dimensional. All he does is cut in. It's so easy to defend the guy. It's like playing with 10 men. It's so easy. And Rio, just because he had a great pre-season, doesn't mean he's ready for first-team football.
No,
he should have bought somebody like Malik Fofana. Although he's injured now,
I did call for him. I like him a lot. I would have bought him.
Fantastic
he was
player.
desperate to join Liverpool. He went
Fantastic
on all. He was, you know, did all sorts of interviews in the summer about how he, you know, it was his dream. He had his agent doing the same thing, going around podcast after podcast talking about his dream move was Liverpool. Can you remember? Didn't you send me one of the links, Seamus? I'm sure it was you that sent me one of the links, and you know, you've got to move for a player like that if he wants to join. Especially
I remember
you still need cover for the right. We haven't got any cover on the right either.
Well, I'm hoping the Semenyo rumours are correct because he's a very hard worker. He's direct, he's pacey. And what we need now is somebody like Szoboszlai who works hard. He's the only player that's grafting. None of them are grafted.
Yeah.
But
there's no impetus in the team.
He's the only player that's fit as well. You look at the rest of them and they look half baked. It's unreal.
Why aren't they've had a pre-season? They were 10 games, 12 games in. Why aren't they fit?
Training's wrong. I mean, there was a lot of talk when Klopp was in charge. What used to happen is constantly he would have this battle with the fitness and conditioning coaches, and they all said he trained the players too hard. He worked them too hard, and they'd always cite that's why Fabinho and Henderson and that fell off a cliff. All of a sudden, they just got burnt out from training too hard under Klopp, and so as soon as Klopp was gone, the training was changed to have this this softer, more gentle training regime, which they're still doing. And obviously, over time, the fitness is just dropping off gradually. At first, they still had that fitness left, the basic, built up a stamina from the Klopp era. So they were still able to run and be aggressive, but that's gone now. And now we're seeing what the fitness and conditioning coaches themselves actually have come up with. And I would say that they should be the first out the door, to be honest. They clearly haven't got a clue what they're doing. Because Klopp was in charge of what was, the fitness and conditioning before. Now he's gone, they look half done.
So let's talk about the tactics. Last season, when we won the title, it was a mixture of high press and possession football. It was beautiful, right? I can understand they want to go away from the Klopp, the Gengham press, and he didn't play that for the last 2 or 3 seasons while he was with us. I admit that. But when Klopp came in, it was a mixture of press and possession football. Now it's turgid. I don't know what it is. Explain to me. One of you explain to me what we're playing now.
It's meant to be controlled football, but it's not, is it?
What's that?
Oh, my God.
No, I was just going to say I can't. I sat I sat in the Anfield Road end at the Forest match, and I'm just looking at this side to side, slow build up, back to Kanate, back to Van Dijk, over the other side. I mean, we all grew up watching Liverpool, right? Liverpool are at home, and for forever and a day, they went at teams. They went at them. You go with them. You don't do the side to side, ridiculous, slow football. So whoever thinks this is a good idea, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where or who came up with said this is a good idea.
You were at the match. You were at the Forest match, Bazza.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Didn't you, apart from diarrhea, didn't you go away from that match thinking that Elliot Anderson is one of the best football players you've seen in a very, very long time? He would be fabulous in our team right now. That's exactly what we need right now. Elliot Anderson in our team. Not Walton, not Baleba. We need Elliot Anderson. You were there, didn't he? He was on every blade of grass. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need another Bosley.
Yeah, absolutely. Anderson, I'd sign him in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. If I was Sloboslai, I'd be grabbing that captain's armband from Virgil, because that's our next captain.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Can I, Seamus, you as a neutral-ish, when you're looking at the tactics, what do you see?
No, I see what I called for at the start of the summer. Like at the start of the season, when we were doing the podcast, I was saying like there are a lot of on paper good players. There are a lot of on paper good transfers. High-end players, players with Premier League experience, players with some great achievements, some youth, everything. But it was always, I was always going into the season looking at Liverpool thinking, this is going to be very interesting. Because there are a lot of players, but I cannot kind of completely see how everyone fits in together. It's not just the volume, it's also the profiles. Yeah, for all people want to cry about it, all people want to dunk on him and everything. But Trent, at least with this controlled, slow, boredom to death football, at least he had that magic moment of creativity. He could just ping one across the pitch. He could just slide one in between the left back and the right back. And the left centre back for Salah to run onto. There were some magical moments, and those moments not just exist when he is playing, but it exists when he is just even knocking the ball around 5 yards from his side, because that threat, the threat is always greater than the execution, because teams will always have one eye, one man, one guy just fixated on that threat. You lost that with him. You brought in Frimpong, who firstly has struggled with injury, but even when he plays, still doesn't provide the defensive solidity or the attacking threat to match that.
He's the wrong profile.
Yeah. At least with Frimpong, I can understand. I can understand with Frimpong. The issue is you bought Kirkes, who was one of the best attacking left backs in the league, to play as the freaking left-sided centre back in a I don't know what kind of a football this is. Like, this is Pep Guardiola cancer ball. Actually, this is what happens when you watch the players being studied for a couple of minutes by the pundits on the masterclass and all these shows, but the game actually went on for 90 minutes. There were other things compensating for the issues. There were other aspects that were not exploited by the teams. People haven't realized that everyone tries to copy Pep Guardiola, but Pep Guardiola is always evolving, constantly changing, because he knows that these tactics get found out. This play, bomb one for fullback on, play him into the midfield, play him into the right side and tuck the other guy in, was found out by freaking Liverpool itself. Liverpool were one of the first teams
Well,
that
they did it with
experimented with
Trent.
City.
They did it with Trent, yeah.
Yeah, not just with Trent. I'm saying like when City were doing it at the highest
Right.
velocity,
Yeah.
Liverpool was one of the teams that enjoyed the success against that setup.
The way they played their system over superseded that City system, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
They should
exactly.
have.
You guys exploited it. You guys gave the template on how to play against it, and 2 years down the road, you guys are now not just
Yeah.
2 years behind, but 2 years behind everyone catching up to it.
Look,
That's one
agree.
issue. The other one is Florian Wirtz. For all the quality he has, he's not been firstly utilized. Secondly, he's not been helped by his team and everyone. And I think the biggest issue is, like we said, you signed Isak on August, September 1st, whatever it was. We're coming to the end of November. How the hell can you not get him fit by now?
But
If you
deep,
can't, then what are you doing?
Deeps,
You
Isaac
have
played.
Ekitike. You have Ekitike. Give Isak 2 weeks with the fitness coaches and everyone. Trust Isak. Sorry, trust Ekitike. If nothing else, after 2 weeks you will have Isak who is way more fitter and ready to fire. If not, then you didn't scout him properly or whatever.
But yeah, you're right. We didn't scout him properly. At Newcastle, he played with flying wingers, with Murphy and Gordon. We played with inverted wingers. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of money. He looks like a plumber out there.
But he's getting Isak, as everybody could see, even Stevie Wonder can see he's not fit.
Yeah.
But yet,
His touch
but
is
yet
horrible.
he's getting picked. Ekitike is in far better condition, and he's fit and available. He's getting dropped.
And that's affected his form as well, hasn't it?
Guys, I can understand why he's trying to get Isak into the team. There's a lot of pressure for him to play. They want to get him match fit, but I just don't think the system suits him. He's getting no space, and he's a player that thrives on space. There is no space, and it's like excuse me.
Abid, I agree. Sorry to interrupt you there, Abid. I
No
agree
worries.
totally. I agree totally in everything what you're saying. And I've been trying to explain this to people here. The players as a whole are good players. It's the tactics / the system that are letting them down.
If you pass,
I agree.
If you pass slowly around, you just give players time you give the opposition time to adjust. It's my biggest bugbear has been, I've said, when Klopp started doing it as well, like you say, the key to beating other teams is always move fast. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to run with it fast. You can pass it fast. It doesn't matter. Just move it fast.
Or get the ball back in 6 seconds like they were told to do under Klopp. You lose the ball, you get it back under 6 seconds. I was listening to an interview with Alexander Chamberlain the other day. I don't know how old it was, but it's true. He said, we played less tactics in the training sessions.
Yeah.
All we did was fitness.
Yeah.
And pressing. We have where's the press?
Yeah.
People are just jogging around doing nothing now.
Yeah.
Ronnie Moran used to shout at the players at Melwood, let the ball do the work. Let the ball do the work.
Yeah.
Don't be standing there admiring your pass. Get into position, get into space. Let the ball do the work. And how many years ago am I going back? So why is this changed? What's this about?
Listen, Trish, you're the tactical expert. What's going on?
Expert.
I meant that in.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you do that off screen? Did you? Yeah. It's just.
I did loads of them. I did it for ages.
Yeah, the problem is he does it. He's basing it on his lessons learned from the Eredivisie, where tactically it's slower anyway. The game itself is slow. It's almost a different sport. This is the problem. You've got a few leagues that are similar to the Premier League in terms of how you need to play, and that's Scotland and the Bundesliga. They're both high speed. You have to play, you have to pass it around. As we saw with Ten Hag, when you try and bring Dutch tactics into the English game, it just doesn't work because they're used to playing slowly. It's all technical, very similar to Serie A. It's slow, technical.
And Van Gaal as well, Man United.
Yeah.
A deeps would go.
Yeah, it just doesn't work because it's a different game. You need high speed. Everything has to be done quickly. You don't have time on the ball to to stand around putting your foot on it. And teams will work harder to get back in. In the Eredivisie and in Serie A, and that you'll always have like attacking players that will make no effort to track back at all. You know what I mean?
So explain to me
to stamp. So you've got spaces to exploit. So you can pass it around slowly.
Explain to me why he played with flying wingers in Dutch football, and he doesn't play with them now. I mean, I don't know why.
It's madness. I don't understand it because it's like he's decided that all the lessons he's learning, every single thing he's learning, it's like he's taking the wrong lesson from everything. We got bullied every single game last season in midfield. That was our big weak spot. You saw it, didn't matter who we played, they would bully our midfield, and it was always a problem. And yet, his idea from it, what he's taken from it, is to empty the midfield. I mean, how does that work? What has he come up with? I don't understand his thinking at all. Because he's literally just sent everyone forward. He seems to think we're just going to play low blocks every week. And he set up the tactics thinking that they're just going to sit in, everyone's going to sit in the 6-yard, the 18-yard box, and defend the 18-yard box, and that's all we're going to face. And we don't have to worry about anything else. Maybe just a breakaway. That's it. That's all we're playing against. And he hasn't realised that teams are going to look at it and go, well, hang on, they're playing so far up and they're playing it so slowly. All we need to do is ping a ball into the corner and they're in trouble.
You bypass them.
Yeah, we just bypass, down the midfield. And because the midfield's coming so far forward, there's a huge gap in between the midfield and defence because nobody's sitting in there, nobody holds back. Gravenberg's been given subtly licence to attack rather than play as a defensive midfielder like he was last season when he was the best player on the team. It's like, how is he taken from last season where Gravenberg was the best player, thinking that, and what I need to do then for next season is change what Gravenberg does. He's the one player you'd say, right, he's the one that works. Adjust the others that didn't work. That's how I'd be looking at it.
So, in hindsight, it's been an abysmal transfer summer.
Yeah,
I don't see how it's been a positive or an effective one or a successful one. I just don't see it because we bought Wirtz, who's been. Listen, the jury's out. I'm going to give him time because they're not playing to his strengths, right? And
I think he'll come good.
I hope so, right? Isaac. He's been an abject failure so far. Again, they're not playing to his strengths. He's not been fit, which is just an absurd situation. Ekitike has been a complete success, in my opinion. Works hard, right?
Yeah.
Frimpong, I don't think he's going to come good, right? In the few matches I've seen him play, I don't think he's going to come good. Unfortunately, sorry, brother.
You have Kirkus.
I think he's a lemon, an out lemon, but he's playing out of position as well. He's a flying wing back at Bournemouth, and now he's playing inverted. Yeah. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's hard to see what Slot and the coaching staff have come up with makes any sense from any of the lessons we had last season. It doesn't. I mean, there's nothing you can see in how they're trying to play that makes sense considering what we're facing. You've got
is that down to Van Bronckhorst, Tris?
Well, in part. I mean, it's partly down to Van Bronckhorst, it's partly down to Slot, it's partly down to the analysts at the club. I mean, the analysts at the club obviously aren't doing their job because they should be the ones saying this is what the problem is, this is where we're getting caught out. Why are we emptying out I mean, it's simple. The midfield is getting overrun every week. The first thing you need to do, there's nothing. If you don't change anything else, the first thing you've got to do is stop emptying the midfield. We need cover in there. There's got to be someone sitting in front of the defence to protect it. And yet, nothing's been done to change that. In fact, quite the opposite. He's changed instead of putting Gravenberg even further forward.
But he likes progressive midfielders. He doesn't like holding midfielders.
Yeah, but he played with one in the Eredivisie, didn't he? Who was it who played there?
Timber. Julian
What's his
Timber's twin brother.
Timber,
Quinton
the brother, yeah, okay.
Jurian. No, not Jurian. It was Jurian's the brother.
Quinton,
that's it. But he's always injured now. But like he had him sitting there in front of the defence, so he does know how to use a defensive midfielder. It's really odd. It's like he's taken his blue. He just throws it out the window and doesn't build on it at all, and takes all the wrong lessons from everything he learns. I mean, that slow passing about. I'm watching last week. Szoboszlai playing at right back for starters with this really weird. What was that with Jones playing it? He's again emptying the midfield. Jones ended up at right back with Szoboszlai in right midfield and Salah at right forward in front of him. We ended up with 3 players playing down the right. What was that all about? And then every time Szoboszlai got the ball, you could see how lacking in confidence he is because he was just passing it back to Jones almost every time. Well, what kind of tactic is that? What do they work on in training? I mean, surely he must have been able to see a pass forward from there.
So riddle me this. The best game we've played all season is against Real Madrid, right? Yeah. And we pressed the crap out of them for 90 minutes. And we played wonderfully well. Why not just play like that all the time? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Nor do I. And this is the thing. The thing is, we did that against Villa and against Villa. Two games in a row, won them both. And what's the first thing he does in the next game? Changes it to go back to what he did before. I mean, what? That to me should have been that's when he should have gone. Because if he didn't take the lessons and understand that this is what works from those 2 matches, you clearly aren't learning what's what, you know.
I've asked this on the site before in the last few days, Tris, a few times, and off you. Is it because he's stubborn? Is it?
It feels like arrogance.
Sorry, Tris.
It feels like arrogance.
Is he the tactical genius we all thought he was? Because last season, and I'm being serious here, because last season his in-game management was world class.
Yeah.
It was excellent, right?
Yeah.
Saw a problem, he fixed it straight away. I just don't get why he's not doing that now. It's like he's got some mental block, like he's a different person. He's been hit.
A lot of the time he's just reverting to what worked once last season. He's just going back to it to try it again and again and again with that putting Gravenberg at centre back. I mean, it worked once. It didn't work again. You know, that's it. It's the only time it worked was one time, and he keeps reverting to it. And I just think it's not the answer. It's not even close to the answer. It's not a good idea when we're already weak in midfield anyway. You've got to say Van Bronckhorst is clearly an issue because Heitinger obviously would have had a different input into it. So Van Bronckhorst. I just don't understand what input he has. I mean, from when you watch him on the sidelines,
he never moves.
No, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't
do anything.
It's whose name I'm going to is completely off. I've completely lost the name of the other guy, the other Dutch fellow.
Heitinger.
No, well, not Heitinger. I mean, the one who's actually in his ear now. Oh my God. I can't think of the coach's name. Anyway, the guy who's in his ear was there last season, but he was the one that wasn't saying a lot because Heitinger was the one that was doing the talking.
Yeah.
Whereas this season, it's him who was just sat down doing nothing last season, and Van Bronckhorst is just. I mean, I don't even know what he's there for. I thought he was there supposed to be given input, but he just seems to be sat there as a spare part. You know what I mean? He's just. It's obviously not worked out having him there. I mean, from reading the Rangers site, they were all talking about this is something they hated, the tactical play under Van Bronckhorst when
Was it like
he was at
a
Rangers.
horseshoe or
yeah,
something?
they called it the horseshoe, yeah. That was what they were calling it, because it was literally just everyone arranged around the penalty area,
Yeah.
but then there was a huge gap in behind them, and there was nothing behind them, there was no cover or anything, nobody covering up against breaks. So they were suffering exactly the same issues Liverpool are. So it's clearly something, it's clearly him being there rather than hiding it is part of the problem.
So who do we blame for when we lose possession? We're not feverishly trying to get the ball back. Who do we blame for that?
Slot, because he's in charge. It's got to be on Slot. Has to go on Slot. And the fitness and conditioning coaches haven't helped because they don't want the players to work so hard, so they don't have burnout at the end of the season. But
So that's why we're 11 points behind the leaders in the Premiership and get beat by PSV 4-1 at home.
For me, if players are suffering burnout, give them some time off. If they're starting to struggle, just give them a break from training for the day. So when the games are coming thick and fast, you're not really training much anyway most of the time, are you? So I just don't understand. That's what Ranieri did. The year Leicester won the league, he trained them like fucking Trojans. He had them running and running and running and running after the ball, you know what I mean, in training. Not running as in just running, but you know what I mean, pressing the ball, winning it back, practicing the pressing and all that, and working really hard on their fitness. But what he'd do is, when he was worried they were getting a bit tired, he didn't say, you know what, we'll just lessen the training. What he did is, he gave them a day off. Go and go and relax for a day, and then we'll be back to training the next day. We'll get back into it really hard, and you'll feel refreshed and that. That's what he was doing. I mean, they were sometimes having 2-3 days off just because they were playing so often. You don't need to train. You play, the playing will do it, but you've got to play at the right intensity, and we're not doing that. That's the big difference. We're training gently, so we're playing gently.
Say what you want about Nunes and Diaz. They work their socks off with the team. And nobody's doing that now apart from Slobber's Life. I don't see anybody else doing it.
No, I don't see anybody else. No.
Deeps, do you see Deeps? You're looking in from an objective point of view. Do you see anybody?
Everybody looks either disinterested or, like you guys are speculating, not fully fit to exert themselves out, cover every grass on the field, just huff and puff. If nothing else, at least be a menace. Nobody looks fit enough to do that. The worst thing is, even Salah looks like he's running with weights tied to his ankles, and that's a rarity. Mm-hmm. Being out of form is one thing, but being out of sorts is something else for him. Like he's had lean patches, but fitness has never looked to be his problem. But now it's starting to look a bit like that. Like maybe even he is not quite up there in his fitness level.
Bazza, you were there on Saturday. What do you think? What about the fitness levels?
They look slow, but not only did they look slow, the passion wasn't there. The passion to get the ball back, to run, to fight. They were making stupid mistakes, but a lot of people around me were just saying that as well. You could see the passion wasn't there, and they weren't scrapping. They weren't. If they lost the ball, it was like and the trot afterwards instead of busting a gut. Get the ball back up the field. Let's go, lads. That's not there. There's something. Yeah, I think the players there's something going on with the players as well.
They've stopped playing for him.
I think so. I'm going to call it. I think so.
All right. So who's next? What's the situation now? Just say he goes this weekend, win, lose or draw. He goes. What's the ideal scenario?
It can't be win. It cannot be win loser, right? It's either you win or you go.
Has to be. Doesn't
it? You cannot sack him. Yeah, you can't sack him now if you win. And it's such a fall down from from the top. Like
Okay, all right.
we're into December. We're into December. You're playing West Ham that's fighting it out in the relegation zone,
Yeah.
and it's a if you win, that's a fall from grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nottingham Forest were third from bottom. They destroyed us at home. So,
Yeah.
okay,
It
so
was a destruction.
hypothetically speaking, we draw or lose, right, on Sunday. Is there an interim? My personal opinion, I would move heaven and earth to get Klopp back for 6 months, put some respect back into that team, and then take Nagelsmann in the summer. That's what I would do. What about you, lads?
You cannot
Klopp
no,
won't
you
come.
cannot knock on Klopp's door. No,
Yeah.
you
Why?
cannot knock on
Why?
Klopp's door
Why?
and say,
Why?
give us 6 months. You cannot
Why?
do that.
Why?
Because you won't get. No,
He's going to
because
be
you won't get the
Germany
best of
coach
Klopp.
after Nagelsmann. He'll take the German job after Nagelsmann. And he said in that podcast, that infamous podcast, I can't remember, it was a CEO podcast. He said, if my city need me and they come calling, I will help them. He said, technically, I will never manage another English team again, but Liverpool I would.
Yeah, but it's not fair on him. His health suffered badly. That was the problem. His health was deteriorating massively when he was managing us. The pressure, the stress. He needed the break, and he's looking a lot healthier and better. And I just don't think it's the right choice. Because the players, you can't bring a manager in for 6 months and expect the players to actually bother for him. They're not going to listen to him. It's not like it was before with him. It just doesn't work. You know, the only way that works is if it's someone promoted from within who's ambitious and the players know and you know what I mean, and they want to give him a chance to have a future in the game. Because this is his chance to show he's good enough and he might get a big job elsewhere. That's the only way an interim works. Or you bring back someone like Dalglish, who is desperate to do the job, rather than Klopp, who doesn't want to do the job. He doesn't want to be back in football management, in club management. So you're bringing him in, he's reluctant, and that transmits to the players. It has to be somebody who desperately wants it. And that's the only way that works. But for me, you just can't get Areola. Bournemouth will let him go. I would move heaven and earth to get him.
I think Areola would be impossible right now. I think Klopp would be the best solution in the interim period. I completely.
He's out of contract at the end of the season, isn't he?
But you don't need another goalkeeper. Areola is not that good, anyways.
He's a bit of a tit, isn't he?
Yeah. He was man of the match in their last game when they do 2-2, and you know they're going to fucking batter us, and he'll be terrible, and we'll still lose to him. But yeah, against Bournemouth, I'm telling you, they're exactly what we were under Klopp, but with obviously lesser team. But it's the Klopp. But he's got the Klopp group. You know, he plays a similar way. We've got the team that suits that. We've got a team desperate to play that way. You need to bring in a manager that suits it, and Nagelsmann doesn't do that.
I think Nagelsmann's the answer. I would love
play that way. I know you love Nagelsmann, but he's shown he's got a problem. Don't you remember the problems he had at Bayern?
Yeah, but what about what he did at Hoffenheim? Beautiful football. They played.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, he couldn't cope with the egos. Yeah, and he also ended. I mean, some of the stupidity off the pitch, like dating that journalist. And
you
would have done the same thing.
He got played like a fiddle there. He got played like a fiddle there.
Oh, he didn't need you.
He played him.
You all would have done the same thing.
No, most of us had seen. Most of us.
But that's why we are not going to be the manager.
Yeah.
We would have done the same thing. That is why we're not in the running for the manager.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
You would have had a chance with her anyway. So.
Exactly, but like if you weren't in a position like that, we know that she's not going to be looking at us. He didn't think that. He's so arrogant and so up his own arse at that point that he thought he had a chance of her anyway, and he's good enough. You know what I mean? I don't think Nagelsmann's the right.
No. If I'm being a little bit more serious, that is not actually why I wouldn't not like
No.
forgetting about my Manchester United connection and everything. That is one of the things why it's not one of the things that make him less appealing to me now. It's he's not been that great with Germany.
Awful.
It's
Yeah,
true.
but they haven't had a goal.
Yeah.
They haven't had good players. They're playing.
No,
Look
but-
at
They
what he's
have been.
doing.
No, but look at it. No, it's
Words, one
international.
player.
No. Come on, man. It's international football. You don't need 11
Yeah.
superstars. International football is actually built around having a good team cohesion, a
Yeah.
good setup. Actually, good coaching matters more in
Yeah.
international football. And by good coaching, I just don't mean the tactical boards and everything. Managing the players, getting the right profiles to mesh with each other.
Would he change your mind if he
No, we
won the World
forget.
Cup?
We forget that Croatia were doing great for 3-4 years
Yeah.
on the back of two hardly two superstars. If you call Rakitic a superstar, it was built around Modric.
Well,
Germany have had a lot more better quality players than Modric. No disrespect to him, and even if we say Modric was better, they have 10 better players than Croatia. I'm just using Croatia as an example.
Yeah.
International football is where a coach can really use his
Yeah.
ideas and also show to you how he can work in limitations. In club football, you don't think your striker can hit the barn door, go out and sign the best available player. International football doesn't work like that.
Yep. Yeah. Deep,
And you say Germany don't have anyone. Florian Wirtz. If he can't get a tune out of him for the national team, then how can you think he can get a tune out of
Exactly.
him at Liverpool? Jamal Musiala, someone who you can say could be better or is better than Florian Wirtz, and it wouldn't be a hate speak. It wouldn't be anything else. You would because they're kind of. I think they're kind of similar level.
Yeah.
Now we'll see how he's gonna come back from injury and everything. They've Slaughterback. No, they've
Slaughterback's
Kimmich.
excellent.
They
But
players.
there's
Yeah.
two players
They
that are
players.
world class that he's.
Schlotterbeck is brilliant, mate.
The
defender.
centre back,
Yeah,
from
fabulous
Borussia
player.
Dortmund, yeah.
Yeah.
Good player, yeah.
They've
But-
got, if you look at their level though, compared to the teams around them, is what you've got to compare it to. No, there's no teams anymore that have got fantastic, a fantastic squad. There is no golden, like the Cruyff 74 Dutch team. There is no teams like that. There is no great teams anymore
Even
in
France.
international football. Yeah.
Even France, they're not 11 superstars like they were in the
They've
2018
got great
2020.
players, though. Their French players have got a great squad.
But
They may
Kante's
have a great...
past it, and he's still their best
No,
player.
you say no. Abid, you say that, but do you know what the deal with Pogba is? Deschamps said he's
sorry?
injured.
Yeah,
Deschamps is desperate to get Pogba back fit and into the setup. It's not because France are laced with superstars
Yeah.
or Pogba. It shows that even the better teams, the so-called better teams on paper, even they're not filled with 11 superstars right now.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of a lot of good upcoming young players and a lot of players at the twilight end of their career in international football. That is why England, with their idiotic football, are still one of the favorites for the bigger tournaments.
I hear what you guys are saying, but that doesn't necessarily mean Julian Nagelsmann won't be a fabulous coach for Liverpool and a successful one.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
It's impossible to tell until he actually does the job.
Exactly.
But I would.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be
no,
my
that is
choice.
the thing.
That's what we're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
And we're giving you reasons why Mr. and Seamus is obviously.
Germany national team was the correct time for him to show that he can evolve, he can change, he could have shown newer things, but right now it's a World Cup year and you're doubtful whether Germany are even in the top 5 favorites.
Let's see. Bazza, who would you go with?
For manager,
Yeah.
yeah, the Bournemouth man.
Iriola.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, he's like you look. Didn't Bournemouth lose their first choice centre back pairings or something?
Yeah,
lost
right.
all-
No, they lost
both
everything.
centre backs, left back, and goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the new
And look,
defenders are fucking horrendous as well. It's not like they're if you've watched them, they're truly terrible. How they're in any kind of form, it's astonishing because those guys sell a goal at least one goal a game, at least. They're awful. I mean, is it Senesi? I'm trying to think the guy.
Yeah, he's so clumsy.
dumb.
I know he's very good. He's very good for the fantasy Premier League, but he is so fucking awkward and clumsy, man.
Oh, he's terrible.
Every time I watch him, it makes me.
He's one
So
of the.
lads,
He
who-
makes Konate look like he's a player. You know, that's
Yeah,
how
but listen,
bad he is. Well, maybe I'm
let's talk
exaggerating a
ab-
bit there.
Let's talk about Konate for a second, right? Everybody is on his back, but listen, is it really? These mitigating circumstances, right?
Is it?
He's got. I know you're looking at me incredulously, right? But listen, he's got. When a player's out of form, you bench him and put somebody else on,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately, I think Leone would have been a world superstar by now if he hadn't got injured. He looks absolutely amazing in his first game. He got injured. It's so desperately unlucky.
That was a
Jones,
freak,
you've
yeah.
got Gomez. You've got Gomez who's never fit, right? So he's had to play his way through his shocking form.
But
There's nobody to replace him.
But Gomez had been fit all season, and he just sat on the bench watching. So you can't really say that he's forced him.
But is he
forced to
match
play
fit?
him.
He's bench fit, but is he match fit? He
Well,
plays
won't
a game
get
and then he
match
gets
fit if he
injured.
doesn't play.
I think he's good enough. I think Joe should be started.
I think he should start on Saturday.
Yeah.
I listen. I understand the vitriol towards Ibu, but I also have sympathy for him as well because I don't think it's completely his fault. I really don't.
I said he's playing. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there. He wants out.
Maybe.
He wants out. We know he wants out. He's rejected a massive contract offer. He doesn't want to stay. We know that he doesn't want to stay, and the only reason he'll stay is because
Nobody else wants
and Real Madrid have decided that he's shite and they don't want him. But I mean, it was obvious last summer. I mean, I said last summer he's the one player that's like if you looked at the first 11. He's the one player you have to replace first because he was the worst player. He was the weak link all last season as well. He's an awful player. He can't pass. He can. That's not true. He can pass, but 99 times out of 100, he'll just shank it and give it away instead because he loses. His head's never right. He's got his mental attitude is that of a 5-year-old. He's far too busy dressing up. Playing dress-up games with the French squad to actually play football. That's his problem. He's 5 years old and he's never going to grow up and act like an adult. And until he does, he won't play well.
You're just jealous because you wear shorts and t-shirts. Okay.
It's a bit hot to wear anything else here, to be fair.
All right. So lads, what's the
No, come on, wait. Are we sure he's got his shorts on?
Yes.
Because he can only see from the chest up.
That's true. I'm not standing up. Let's put it that way.
All right, lads.
Sorry, Abbott.
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
Tris, would Bournemouth do a deal with Liverpool?
Yeah, because he's
For
out
the
of
manager.
contract in the summer, isn't he? I'm sure he is.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay.
He is, you're right.
You know, I'm pretty sure Iraola and Glasgow, they have their deals running out in the summer.
Yeah, I'm like 99 because you can't
But
be
I-
100%
yeah.
with managers because it's not as clear. You know what I mean? They don't have as clear contract situations, obviously, because sometimes they can have like rolling contracts that you don't know about because it's not it's not reported in this not recorded in the same way as
In the
player
TMS.
contracts have to be
But
very open and.
Richard Hughes would know.
Yeah,
Hughes would know.
exactly. And Richard Hughes
So,
knows him. He was the one that brought him to Bournemouth, wasn't he?
after they sacked, what's his name? They sacked that guy and he was doing really well. And they brought
Gary
Gary
O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill, yes,
the
that's
one.
right, yes.
Google over there, deep.
Yeah, we don't need Google, we just have, that's
Yeah,
what Seamus is
GP.
here for. He's got a memory like an elephant.
You should actually no it's not a joke suggestion. You should actually try and get him in as a coach, Gary O'Neill. Not as your manager.
Head coach, yeah.
Not as a manager because he doesn't have the cojones for it, sadly, but as a coach, yes.
All
And
right,
the coach.
Yeah, head
some
coach.
more pressing concerns, guys. How do we stabilise this ship, and who do we need to sign in January? I mean, it's not going to be 3 or 4 players. Yes, we know that. I mean, ostensibly, who do we need in January to like stop this ship from sinking?
Need a centre
A
back.
centre back.
I want to go first. I want to go first here.
Go,
Firstly, it's so refreshing to watch 3 Liverpool supporters ask how much more money need we spend after
It's
450
depressing for
million in
us.
one go.
Yeah.
No, it's but sadly that 450 million seems to have been spent down the gutter. I guess someone from Manchester United hacked into your database and supplied you with all the targets on how to waste your money.
Fair, we had the problem, like, obviously there's the loss of Diego Jota. We had to replace him. We had to sell Diaz. He was a problem. He'd always been, and we got a big offer for him. You can't turn it down because he's fighting to get out. So you have to take it. You know what I mean? And then obviously Núñez went as well. We sold Núñez. We had a good offer for him. So we had to buy forwards to replace him. We needed at least 2. Desperate, had to sign 2 because we didn't have any. So
you bought the same profile. That's the only issue.
That was
you bought the same profiles with Ekitike and Isak, just 2 years apart. That's in his 2-3 or whoever it is. I think now what Liverpool need to do is get some defensive solidity. Whether it be with signing a new centre back, whether it be with getting Gomez back fit into the team, whether it be with getting Endo into the team or signing someone in midfield to either rotate/replace Gravenberch or play alongside him and give some energy, muscle, physicality and control that sadly McAllister isn't giving you guys anymore.
He'd be the first out the door for me.
He'd be the first to go. Yeah, I agree.
Along with Canate, he's terrible.
No, he has his strengths, some excellent strengths, but sadly his weaknesses are getting exemplified by this system. Because among the players you have, he is the one guy that cannot, even if he tries to and wants to, that cannot run fast because he cannot run fast.
Exactly. You
cannot run faster than your top speed. So playing this empty the midfield and then try and funnel back is not going to work with him. If he is not already in position, he is physically incapable of running fast. It's not his fault. It's a fact with him.
It's not just that. He doesn't even. He's got no defensive awareness either. So he's slow to react. So that makes it even worse. It amplifies it.
Yeah. If he was fast, then in 10-15 years he can at least catch back up. But with him, he will be another 5 years behind because he's that slow. So as a neutral watching it, to me it looks like you need firstly a better defensive setup. That has to come from the coaching staff. You can spend millions of pounds and still be defensively horrible. Trust me, I have seen that with my team.
The other thing is, what about Mamardashvili as a backup for Alisson? Does anybody actually feel confident when he's in goal? I mean, I said it. It was nobody said it at the time. Nobody missed it at the time. Everybody saw it at the time that he made no sense as a signing. 2 years ago, when we were, when we first bought him, everyone was saying, "Why are we buying him? He can't kick the ball. He can't play. He doesn't suit the game. He's good at one thing, and that's it. He's a shot stopper, but he's De Gea, but 20 years, but it's not as good." He's a worse version of De Gea. He can't command his area. He can't come off his line. He's good at stopping penalties. He's brilliant at stopping penalties.
I was going to say that.
He's a good shot stopper, but that's it. And he's not even a great shot stopper. That's the scary thing.
Is he going to be sold at a profit, Tris?
No,
Don't be serious.
no
Profit.
one is gonna buy him at profit now.
Yeah, it
Not
was a
now.
stupid signing. I mean, it made no sense at the time. Why bring him in? We had plenty of youngsters coming through who suited the system, who'd been brought through playing the system. That Yaros who's on loan at Ajax, he's not a great keeper by any means yet. He's a kid-ish, you know what I mean, for a keeper. He's still young, he's still learning, he needs experience. He would have been great, you know, he would have been a better choice than bringing in Mamadashvili, who just doesn't fit the team at all, and he's hopeless anyway.
His kryptonite is the football.
He's not even particularly good at shot stopping, though, is he? He's not like as great as the whole I was hearing when we were buying him. He's a great shot stopper, but he's not.
He's a De Gea who can save penalties but can't save anything with his feet.
Yeah, the opposite to De Gea, really, isn't he? Because De Gea was great with his feet but couldn't stop penalties, couldn't he? Didn't he go through a run of like 8 years without saving a single penalty or something?
I think there was a time in between when the last penalty he saved was Leighton Baines, and then the next one was like in his last season at United.
Yeah, was he?
Leighton Baines retired, became a coach, got.
So another Richard Hughes fail then, basically.
Yeah.
It is like we discuss, and then ultimately about players, the recruitments. The word that again comes back up again and again is misprofiled. How can you misprofile so many players when it's not that slight one or two small innocuous thing. It's something that's very apparent. You don't need to spend like hours and hours watching a player to see, oh, this is not going to work, or this is not what we try to do, and what we like. You watch Mamadashvili. I've watched him once. Oh, he's a good shot stopper, but he can't play for City. He can't play for Arsenal. He can't play for Liverpool because he's not good with possession football.
And he's not good at.
He's not good with passing 5 yards. Yeah.
Any cross comes
He's not good with passing 5 yards here, there, everywhere.
Yeah.
What about the centre back from Palace? Is that going to happen in January or the summer?
Quite.
I think he's going to Real Madrid now. No?
I don't know.
Real Madrid
have for him in the
played you
summer.
guys.
Real Madrid showed interest in the summer, and he wasn't interested then. I don't know what his head's going to say now, though. After this season, that's the thing, isn't it? So know, if Slot's still there, I'm not convinced I think he'll be looking elsewhere then, because you're thinking there's no point, is there?
But why would he move in January? There's no financial incentive for him to do so. He'll make more money if he moves in the summer.
It wasn't the money that was of interest to him anyway. He's ambitious. He wants to step up, and that's what he wanted to do in the summer.
Yeah, like Chris says, like why would he not move to say Real Madrid in the January window if the Champions League is an offer?
But why would he move to an 11th place Liverpool?
Well,
Exactly.
That's what we're saying. Unless Slot's gone and we've got a new man in and everything's looking rosy again and we're on the rise, because he walks into the team in place of Canate, guarantees himself with the World Cup coming up. That's important. You don't want to move to somewhere where you're going to be in a team that's in poor form, and you're not going to move.
No,
to
Tris,
a team you're not going to play.
I don't think it's going to matter for him, Tris, because Gay is nailed on for England.
Yeah, I think he's locked in for England as well, to be fair.
He's nailed on for England, not because he's great or anything, because no one else is any good.
Yeah,
It won't matter. I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's going to matter if he has a lean 6 months patch after the move. He's going to start for England.
Yeah, Tuchel he tends to stick with a group, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah, and he's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones that's performed better for him as well. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be a sticking point for him. With some players it would, but not with him, I think.
We need a right back desperately, so we probably need a hybrid centre back, right back.
I think
Bradley
Diogo
isn't it?
Yeah.
Bradley isn't it?
I think you could get Diogo Dalot.
Oh God, could be worse. Let's be honest. At least we didn't buy Dorgu.
That is true.
That guy.
That is true.
No, come
he's
on.
He's got a worse left foot than me, and I'm right-footed.
No, you cannot look at Dorgu in isolation.
He makes Lukaku.
You cannot look at Dorgu in isolation. you have to look at it with. We had an 18 million buyback for Fernandez, Alvaro Fernandez.
Yeah, even worse.
We spent. I think we spent 20. I think we spent 2021 on Dorgu. So we paid more for an inferior player when we had a buyback.
It's insane.
What's that Javaro Reed like? Is it Deeps at Feyenoord?
I've not watched him. Sorry.
Okay.
I've read exciting things about him, but he's a youngster. I think you need someone with a bit more experience right now.
We need to replace Gakpo. That is a pressing concern for me. Because
he seems to be a one-trick pony, Abba, doesn't he?
Yeah,
as long as the trick works, and it has been the problem as there's been nobody to pass it to. I mean, people keep saying he's cutting in and shooting, but I've watched a game where someone said that in the first half, and he hadn't had a single shot in the entire half. Every time he'd put a cross into the box, but nobody had actually moved to attack across. They were all just stood on the edge of the box, and that is the problem.
But when he comes in,
help.
why isn't Kirkes overlapping him? I don't understand.
Well, what's the point?
Because Kirkes is tucking in.
Yeah, and anyway, Kirkes has been told to play as a centre back, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
he can't overlap. Yeah, this is the problem.
Crazy. Yeah, ridiculous tactics. I mean, guys, in all honesty, in all seriousness, how many players do you think will come in January? Irrespective of who we need, how many do you think will actually come in?
At most,
I think two.
At most,
two.
Yeah.
Gay and Semenyo looking like the most.
Yeah.
Semenyo, you mean?
Semenyo, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Where is he gonna play?
Where he's going to take Salah's position when Salah goes to the
He'll
AFCON.
play both wings. He'll play both wings. So just swap over between.
Can he play on the left?
He could play. Yeah.
He plays on the left. That is why I'm asking you.
He plays on the
that's
right.
not true. He played before he moved to the Premier League. He was a striker. He's played left wing and right wing and centre forward about equal amount of times. He plays all across.
So
the
he's
front.
like Mane.
Brilliant. Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant for that. He's brilliant for what you can put him anywhere.
No, you can put him anywhere, but you cannot sign a guy who just won't deserve playing as a left winger to play as a right winger. That is not.
Did all right.
But you signed Mane, you played him on the right when he was in your team, then you moved him left.
Because Salah was
talking
on, and he done absolutely wonderfully on
But
the left.
you don't sign Mane after his years at Liverpool to play now, do you?
Mane was signed to play on the left initially, but we didn't have a right winger, so we had to play on the right. We had Coutinho on the left.
That's right.
Remember.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's why he played on. It's the only reason he played on the right. He was signed initially to play on the left. This is what people forget. And then we brought Salah in, so we could move Mane over to the left, which was his chosen position. Semenyo, you could sign him. It doesn't, and say you make one of those places your own. But it's up to you to decide, to prove which one you belong to and which one's right for you.
Can he play right back and centre back as
Probably
well?
Could. I don't think he can be any worse at right back. At least he could actually be fit. Yeah, most of the time.
I really hope he's called.
This brings up the next question that was always going on from back in the summer. You have Florian Wirtz, you have Szoboszlai. Let's say you sign Semenyo and you have Salah or Gakpo. And then you have Isak. Forget about Ekitike. Let's say he's a backup for now. You cannot fit 5 players into the 4 attacking places when you spend so much money on each one of them.
50% of them are injured all the time anyway, so it's not Isak is never fit, so take him out of the equation.
He's already had one injury, and we've only had him. He hasn't even played yet.
And he's never been fit.
Yeah. So we can forget. So it's only 4 players into 4 positions.
But seriously, you cannot fit in Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Salah, Semenyo, and Isak all together.
Szoboszlai's going to play deeper. Wants to play deeper. Sees his future playing deeper. He thinks he's got. He wants to be a more sitting midfielder, and so I think that, and I'd be happy with him playing there. 2 minutes left, by the way. Yeah, that's where his future is likely to be.
I was in the middle of talking shite, so forget about it.
That's all he ever does. That's all he ever does. We get used to
He's
it.
a fucking United supporter. Forget about him, Abbott.
Yeah, that doesn't matter what he was saying. What a beautiful time for it to cut off. I mean, we
Yeah,
just
exactly,
we
yeah.
need that more often.
Yeah.
I think I was just pointing it out that Amorim is a genius for losing to a 10-man Everton at home.
Yeah.
That means United are
How is
above
he
you.
still
and
in a
Everton
fucking
are above
job?
you.
I don't know,
How is
Because
he
we're
still in a
fucking
job?
skint. We cannot afford to sack him.
Because you've sacked everybody else. Why can't you sack him?
Because we cannot pay the
Just
compensation
get
fee.
rid of
I'm
another
pretty
more.
sure that's
Just
right.
get rid of a few more tea ladies to pay for it.
No.
Cancel
Ineos
some
are
more
waiting.
Christmas parties.
I think Ineos are either waiting to I think genuinely Ineos are waiting to see if there is something in his contract that makes sure that when we sack him we don't have to pay him enough. Like there are always clauses like as after it is confirmed that you cannot qualify for the Champions League, the compensation fee drops. After it is confirmed you cannot qualify for the European football, the compensation drops. I think that is why they're waiting. They're waiting so long that he's actually started to get a couple of results. And everybody's like, oh, it's turned the corner. Fucking hell, man.
I hope you come third every year so you can't fire him.
No, it's oh, we're not Arsenal. Finishing second and third is
Yeah,
So
you
this
don't
is-
finish that high up the table anymore, mate.
That's a good point you made, Deeps. You know, we're not. Listen, I might be living in cuckoo land, but we're not that far behind, right? We win.
no, but
Go on,
we
mate.
have to we have to contextualize some things. It is ifs and everything, but Liverpool did get the luck of the draw at the start of the season. Those late goals, late winners. If it is all ifs and buts, but those were a couple of moments of magics.
But what
If
about
that hadn't happened-
Chelsea and Crystal Palace? We lost in the last minute.
No, that dropped out. But overall, the performance deserved for you to lose.
Yeah, we
The
were
performance
terrible, to be
didn't
fair.
deserve for you to win.
Yes, you're right.
That is what I'm saying. On the basis of just the performances alone, you were kind of sort of lucky. I know you win the games because you tried to play till the last week, so you went for the juggernaut and everything. You risked it to get the results, but the performances were already not quite great, and every one of us was probably thinking it's the start of the season. Players are getting back into
Yeah.
fitness.
Yeah.
Some players are getting it, but the reality has now sunk in. It's that the
We're crap.
performances were the performances were bad because, like you just said,
We're crap.
you were crap.
Yeah.
You were set up like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the players' fault. It was something bigger.
Yeah.
And that reality, the longer it is going on, the longer it is setting in. Losing to Man City at home, it happens. It happens sometimes because they've got good players. But you cannot lose by 3 goals, 3 games on the trot.
No, you can't.
Even Amorim, the joke of the league, hasn't done that.
But Deeps, we were crap at the end of last season. Not saying we won the league, but we were playing.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking when you guys were talking about. Like,
Yeah,
even at the back end of the season,
yeah,
we thought it was because players just took the foot off the pedal because the league was wrapped up. But sometimes, like that is what Guardiola used to say about his time in Germany. Like, after you win the league, the levels drop off so much that even in the bigger games you cannot turn back on. It's once you turn the switch off, it's harder to turn it back on. And
we were crap
probably
before
it
we
started,
won.
yeah.
We were crap before we wrapped up the title, Deeps. So
you started
problems-
limping to the title, yes.
But
We thought it was complacency because it was you guys were further
yes,
apart.
I agree with that.
I'm just saying, like at that point we thought it was that, but looking back, it seems like it was the slot ball actually taking more effect, and
the lack of fitness.
lo and behold, you are behind David fucking Moyes and Ruben Amorim.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing. Behind David
Yes.
Moyes. Oh.
20 years on and you're still behind David Moyes.
The rot
He's
had
only
set
finished
in a
above
long
us
time
once.
ago.
Yeah, 2004-5.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Once. And that's what I mean. In his entire career, David Moyes has finished above Liverpool once. And that was Rafa's first season when it was a bit, he was struggling to get it going and that. But we won the Champions
So guys,
League that year.
I put my 2 pences in now. How do you guys think you can get back from this slump? Like what are the changes to be made? The
Replace
players that
Slot.
could be.
Yeah, Slot
That-
goes,
I
and we
know.
need 4 or 5 players in the summer.
How much is that after that spending? What we do?
Yeah. We need a right back because.
Do you trust Hughes to sign them?
But while Edwards is at the club, Hughes is not going to get fired,
No,
right? So
exactly.
that's a fact, right? So Hughes is going to be there.
The designation could change though, surely.
I'm sorry.
He could be moved to another role with a made up title.
Who?
Hughes.
Richard Hughes.
No, he's Edwards.
He may not get
He's
sacked.
Edwards' mate. That's why. He
No,
was
I'm
brought
saying
in
like
the
he
first
maybe.
place. He won't.
I'm saying
Edwards is in
I'm
charge
saying
of
you-
making a
he won't-
decision. He won't move him. That's what we're saying.
So
He should
I don't
be.
know. Yeah. So this is
give
what I
him
think.
another role.
To answer your question, Deeps, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this as well. We need a right back. We need a left back. We need 2 centre backs. We need a 6. So that's 6 players already. We need another winger if we get one. If we get Semeneo in January, we need somebody for the left. So we need at least 6 or 7 players in the summer. That's a fucking joke. And that's not even me trying to be funny. That is exactly what we need.
And that's after deciding.
After spending £500 million. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But come here, sorry, Abbott.
Go for it, mate.
Who has the bottom line? Who has the final say in the transfers? Because I remember, Tris, you said on the site there the other day that Edwards came back under the proviso that he had final say on all transfers. So is it
wouldn't be
down
the head coach? That it wouldn't be the head coach. It'd be the recruitment team.
Okay, right, sorry.
Edwards is not in charge of just, he's above that. So he could step in and say to anyone, but he could have done that when Klopp was in charge and he didn't. He had the power then, but Klopp was overruling him, and the club would go with what Klopp said, even though Edwards was in charge of him. His return was on the proviso that couldn't happen anymore, and that the recruitment team, because it was supposed to be the recruitment team, were recruiting for the long term rather than just what a coach thought he needed now. And so he wanted the recruitment team to be able. So Hughes will have final say. Is what I'm basically saying here. Really, right now it's Hughes that's in charge of recruitment. He will be the man in charge of deciding who comes in and who goes. He'll have input from analysts, he'll have input from the scouts, he'll have input from the data, his own data, and he'll have input from the coaching staff. But he'll be the one that makes the final choice. They'll talk together as in, the infamous transfer committee, but it'll be him that makes, if there's an argument and they can't resolve it, it will be him who'll say, right, that'll be what we'll do then. This is what we'll do, you know what I mean? He'll be the one that will make the actual casting vote, so to speak.
So Hughes has the final say.
Yes.
Yeah, grand.
But obviously Edwards could step in and overrule it. That's because he's in a position of power. He's in a position to overrule anything at the club. But very much that's not what he's likely to do. It'll be Hughes that will make the decision. Like he did in the summer.
Okay, guys, who would you get rid of in January?
Do you mean out of the players, the staff, or
Players.
McAllister
McAllister and Canate.
And not Gakpo.
No,
I think
no.
Gakpo's fine.
No.
I don't have a problem with him. I think his problem is the team's not playing a way that gives him any chance of doing anything. He was very good in last season for us.
But he's
our
not
second
good
highest
this
scorer.
season.
He's our second highest scorer this season.
But we can't rely on sentiment. This was last season.
But
When
it's
I
the
was
same this
21,
season,
I could make love 11 times a night. I can't do that now.
No,
So
you
we can't rely on yesteryear.
You
Right.
know,
You mean
Chris,
you could say 11 counted each stroke as a separate
Listen,
one?
listen,
Isn't
Virgin.
11 times?
Listen, Virgin.
11 times. Oh my God. That
Maybe over
1, 2, that doesn't count as 11 times.
Right, so I'm a big proponent that I'm of the opinion that Gakpo is useless. He does nothing for us, and he's been useless for a while. I would get rid of Gakpo. Anyway, who would you guys get rid of in January? Because something needs to happen.
Canate and McAllister, the only two I'd get rid of because we need to strengthen rather than get rid, more than anything.
Baza, Deeps?
Yeah, I Canate, McAllister. For this last while, definitely McAllister. If anybody out of the midfield has to go, I always said McAllister.
Would you not get rid of Bradley, bringing the right back?
I think there's something in Bradley. I think he is a good right back. He needs to be coached. He needs to be pulled to one side.
Oh.
Saying,
he needs to stay fit.
Yeah.
Fitness is his issue. You
I
can,
think talent
you can coach him all you want, but he won't be able to play 3 games in the week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether he's any good if he can't stay fit. It's irrelevant.
That's his main issue. I think if Bradley could play all 50 games for you, you wouldn't be crying out so much for a new right back because you would have other bigger issues to
Yeah,
address
he's not the
afterwards.
greatest right now, but he's not the worst. And we could make if he could keep him fit. I don't think he'd be a
We
problem.
could
We
make
need to
do.
bring in. But
No,
we need another right back because
yeah.
we've got no cover for him. Because
But
Frimpong's not a right back.
Ramsey had a good game in the cup against Palace. I was super
Did he?
impressed.
Did he though?
Could he-
Everyone
could you-
says he had a good game, but was he just? It was just the others were so bad that he didn't look so shy. Because I didn't think he was very good. I didn't think anybody was any good.
I thought he was a highlight in that game. I just think he's
No, but
His least bad is what I would put it.
Yeah, but his issue is also injuries.
Fitness.
Injury,
He
yeah.
can't stay fit.
But
I
while
could
he's
have got rid of
fit,
him years
let's play
ago.
him.
I wouldn't have signed him in the first place, to be honest, because I would have put Bradley in the team back then. But rather than him,
But Bradley's had his opportunities for either because he's been injured or lack of form or he's not that good. He's not shone. So clearly we need to address that position in January. I think we need a
well,
hybrid
we need to
centre-back
because we
right
don't
back,
have
yeah.
one fit.
Exactly, yeah. And Frimpong isn't a right back.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
That's
a
what I'm
no.
saying. I wouldn't
Oh,
count Frimpong
yeah.
because I don't think he's a right
You need
back.
Coyote.
Coyote, yes.
from
I love
Brentford.
Coyote. You know I do. So
And he will even give you long throws. Your
Yeah.
own. If nothing else, you could actually practice it in training and on how to defend
Yeah.
against it. I'm not
Exactly,
even being
yeah.
funny. Like
Gomez can do long throws though, but we don't. So why don't we use him when he's on the pitch?
Because he'd do his hamstring when he throws
But
the
even
ball.
so, in training as well, you've got to be using him in training to practice defending against them.
Yeah.
I'd have him just spending an hour every training session launching balls into the box and have them practice defending against them. But then again, we haven't got anybody to fucking attack them, have they? So they're not going to learn anything. Who's going to attack them and make it difficult for them? You know what I mean? We haven't got anybody who's good at doing that. That's the problem we've got, is it really?
I'd bring that Stiller in on it. That Stiller, we could get him cheap. He's an excellent player. The guy from the Dutch league. I'd
I
replace-
know.
I'd
He plays for
replace him with
Stuttgart.
Gallister.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
What
by Stiller.
close? You've got the
No, if-
Himalayas in the background, Deeps.
Yeah,
Sorry?
he's got
The
photos.
Himalayas
I-
in the background.
It's only the pictures.
Oh.
I do not know why your room.
Yeah, he's not outside.
It's not what to see.
But
I thought that was his
No,
backyard.
but
yeah, it's just
no, but But this photo was taken from my home, so
Do you know what? Did you see?
on a
the-
good day
but,
weekend.
Did you see the riots there where they replaced their government? Did you see all that bit? Do you know what happened? He gave his staff a day off and they went into the city and they overthrew the government. That's what happened. It
Maybe
was
we
only the
could have them-
downstairs staff as well. It wasn't the upstairs one because if there was too many, they can't let them all go at once because there's too many for the city to hold. So, you know,
Maybe-
I need at least one guy present to wipe my ass.
yes.
The royal arse is clean, Your Highness. We should have that. We should have the Liverpool fans riot Anfield, get rid of Slot and Hughes.
Yeah, just
Send the Nepalese over, the Nepalese LFC fan club over.
I don't know if there's a Nepalese fan club there, is there? Is there Nepal?
I don't know for sure, but I am 99.9% sure there is one because football is. I know cricket is big now, but
Yeah.
football was always big in Nepal. So there is I'm pretty sure there is one because there is a Manchester United supporters club in Nepal.
Why is Slot still in a job?
Because Hughes is in charge. Because Hughes picked him, and Edwards picked him, and they're the ones making the decision, and they don't want to. They don't want to admit they got it wrong. That's the only
I'm trying
reason
to
I can
save
think
face
of.
first.
Yeah, they
Was that
wanted
better?
save face. He
Take
said.
better?
Yeah.
Save
Yeah.
face.
And I think it's the only thing is they're saying, you know, we're not a sacking club, Liverpool. That's not the way we do things, and they're sticking by him because Liverpool have always done it that way. But you know, Liverpool haven't had this situation before. That's why. And we've had
What?
years where, like after in between the wars, where we won the league, and then we kept hold of the manager who won it even for years afterwards when he did nothing, and they just never went anywhere. We don't want that situation anymore.
We fired 3 managers in a very short space of time before Klopp.
Yeah, because they were wrong.
Why did we fire Kenny then if we're not a sacking club? He won the FA Cup for us.
Exactly. And he's got a far better record in terms of what he's won as a manager than Slot has. And he's a legend of the club. You can't just sack someone like Kenny Dalglish.
No. Jesus Christ, I would love it if Kenny came in as the interim manager for 6 months. It would be the best. It'd be the best situation possible, apart from the Klopp.
Could you imagine the fans, how they get
my
behind
God.
him?
Oh yeah.
There would be nobody would leave 20 minutes before the end.
Yeah, even
No.
if we were
We're
shy,
losing
it wouldn't
10-0.
matter. Yeah. Not for
That
Ken,
would
not
be
when Kenny's
a
in charge.
masterstroke.
No.
Yeah. Have you seen that new documentary about him?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Any good?
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
It's meant to be excellent.
I'll have to watch it then. So it's difficult to, you don't really see them, you know what I mean, unless they're on something like, you know, one of the streaming platforms, you don't really get to see them out here.
It's on Amazon.
Is it? I've got Amazon,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I get Amazon through me phone contract, I think, so for free, so I can watch on it. It's bloody daylight here, the sun's coming up.
What's the team for Saturday, lads, against West Ham?
I can't see them
Virgil,
win.
I think Virgil has to go back into goalkeeping.
He looking well, he just runs backwards anyway, doesn't he now?
Well, he's good at handball, so he'd be a great
Yeah.
keeper.
What was that about against PSV?
Don't know.
Somebody explain what he was doing. Seamus, you must know. You're used
I
to
don't know.
lunatic
For all these years of watching terrible centre backs, even Maguire, Smalling, Jones, they never did that.
Didn't Glenn Hussein do something similar? Do you remember him? It was pretty much killed his
Yes,
career.
he did.
Pretty much
He did
ended his
against.
career.
He did against United.
Yes, that's right. It was
It
United.
was against
as well.
United.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember
He
that?
was a
No
good
idea.
centre back.
It was at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and that was it. That was his career over.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was a good player, Glenn Hussein.
Before he joined us, he was. He wasn't when he joined us. He was shit for us. He was terrible. And that handball was probably about as good as he got.
So the lack of depth, going back to the lack of depth, means we can't play a different team. We have to play these players that are out of form. Why ain't Chiesa getting a game? I don't understand. Why isn't Endo getting a game?
You need to put in players of energy in it, and enthusiasm at least now. When things are going bad, you put them in, because even if they're not as good, they'll still they give the players a lift around them because they're working so hard, and they make it difficult for the opposition. Go on, Shane, sorry.
I've been saying it for quite a few weeks now. You have to get Endo into the team. That is gonna lift the crowd the moment he goes in and wins a 2080 challenge. Not a 50-50. The guy is gonna go in there, crunching into a 2080, come out with the ball, and if that doesn't wake the Anfield crowd up, then you sack your slot at the whistle.
You honestly, when I go to the Dubai Reds or whenever, when Endo comes on, it doesn't matter if it's the 93rd minute and he's only got 20 seconds to play. The atmosphere, it just goes from you know what I mean? It's kind of like everybody's sort of starting to drift off because the game's coming to an end, and then he comes on the set. You see him warming up, getting ready to come on, and everyone's like, "Oh, Endo's coming on," and you can actually feel the anticipation for him to come on. He gets the crowd up. He really does excite the crowd, even if he's not the greatest player on the ball. He does things that you need. He breaks up play. You don't need 11 players to be brilliant on the ball. This is what Slot doesn't seem to understand, is you need some players to win the ball back as well as be able to play it around. You need to actually win the ball back first. You can't expect to have it for 90 minutes because you won't. At some point you're going to lose it and you've got to get it back. And he doesn't seem to have any plan for getting it back at all, other than just to wait for it to be given back to you, which isn't going to happen until after they've scored, as we've seen with PSV.
So we agree that Canate has to be dropped for Gomez, correct?
Well, if Gomez isn't fit, I'd put a kid out of the youth team. I would have put him in from the start. The way Canate's played, the first couple of games, I would have ripped him out of the team. No matter if there's nobody fit to replace him, you take him out. When Leone was still fit before he started playing, he should have been in the team. His first start shouldn't have been his first start. He should have been a regular at that point anyway.
Rotten luck, that kid. I feel so sorry for him. He looked so good in his debut.
Well, it was fantastic. You watched the footage of him last season, and he is just a class act. The way he bullied Lukaku, that guy's a monster of a guy.
Yeah.
And he was and Lukaku bounced off him at 17 years old. You started to think this kid's got something,
Rob Jones on the right back, Slob, Bradley.
Rob Jones, I think he might be a bit old.
Rob Jones, I wish we had Rob Jones.
He had a back problem when he played, let alone now. I wish he was still able to play.
Exactly, Jones, Slob or Bradley at right back?
You can't take Szoboszlai out of midfield.
Yeah, he's got to be.
So, and it'll have to be Bradley. A fit Bradley over Jones, yes.
Okay. Left, Kirkes or Robbo?
Am I the only one that thinks the answer's obvious and I don't understand why this is even a question, why people are making a thing about this? Robbo's done. He was done last season. You can see he was done.
Yeah.
It's the point you've got to figure out how to get Kirkes playing, and that means just giving him some freedom to attack. You can't just keep going back to Robbo just because Kirkes is in bad form. You have to figure out how to get it out of Kirkes. Robbo, great around the squad, as in he's got a great attitude, he's loved, but he should have been sold. It should have been Tsimikas is the other one, and then it doesn't matter what you tell Tsimikas, he's going to do his own thing anyway, which is why managers don't like him. He would have provided the energy and enthusiasm we're lacking as well. He wouldn't have. Do you think he'd have played left centre back if we were 3-0 down? He'd have been still stood there following instructions. No, he'd have been charging forward trying to score. There's not a single. That's the kind of player we're missing. The ones that just say, fuck, you know what, we're losing. I'm going to get full. I'm going to try and change it. Actually acting on their own, using their own thoughts and playing for the team, trying to do what's right. even if it's not what the coach tells them.
Midfield, I bring Neone in. I think that kid's going to be special. It can't get any worse
Trade
at the
Neone?
moment. Yeah,
I don't think he's
I
ready.
would bring him in. I mean,
Doesn't he get a red card every time he plays?
I don't think so, but I think McAllister is just a passenger at this point.
I'd put Endo
Yeah,
alongside
agreed.
Gravenberg and Szoboszlai. Because I don't think Wirtz is fully fit yet.
I think you'd have to put in Endo over the young lad Abid. Yeah.
I'm not convinced Neone's anywhere near ready. He's too lightweight, and we're already getting overrun in midfield. So what's your...
I hear you, but I don't think Endo's a 90-minute player. That's the issue I have with Endo.
Oh yeah, but you get 60 minutes of great. You get 60 minutes of pure.
Exactly. You got 6. Yeah.
I'd rather have that. It's the same with Salah. I'm of the opinion you stop letting him just saunter down the wing, and you tell him for 60 minutes you give us everything. If that means you have to trap back when we need you, you trap back. None of this just sitting up front and stat padding. We need you to play for the team this season because we've got 2 strikers who aren't as good at at pressing and cover. You're good at it. Do it. You know what I mean? And if that means you've only got 60 minutes in your legs, we'll take you off at 60 minutes and bring somebody else on. That's what I'd. Is it
Rio time, or are we still going to go with Gakpo?
Gakpo.
And Rio's not ready. Another one. He's nowhere near ready. He's not good. He's nowhere near good enough. He's got no delivery.
No, he's only a child.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Seamus? Sorry, you were doing the. I wasn't sure whether you were trying to just do the V's and got confused or.
No. I was just gonna point out, like, with all these question marks around Liverpool, us hate watchers are gonna wish for another glorious day of watching Liverpool. Until then, we have to say goodbye. Get out. Slot for life. Give him a lifetime contract. And see you next time, guys.
See you later.
Nice talking to you again, mate. Bye-bye. I fucking hate him.
What, Seamus? Yeah, we all do.
With his fucking Man United. It's so sickening that
he's still here, like, you know, he's just listening in, so he's hear us calling him names now.
He just rubs it in at every opportunity. I can't believe they're above us.
You don't have to put it over him on Instagram and that, because the constant the messages, all of a sudden they've gone from hardly sending anything. Now he sends like 40 a day, and it's all.
We spend £450 million and Man United are above us in the league. I just don't make sense. I don't get it.
No.
To be fair, they have spent billions over the last couple of years. They're the biggest spenders. They're the biggest. Yeah, but they're still the biggest net spend. You know what I mean? Net spend. They're the biggest. Only Arsenal can compare to them over the last few years.
But Arsenal are going to win the title and everything else.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, normally that's what you'd expect from a team that's spending big over a period of time. It's not like us spending it once doesn't tend to win trophies. That's what people forget. It tends to be a panic. You know, go and splurging once doesn't tend to win things. When you regularly spend, keep constantly investing, that's the teams like Man City that tend to win regularly, you know, because they win and then they spend and they keep spending and they keep spending, so they keep winning. And Arsenal have gradually, they've kept spending and they've kept spending and they've kept spending. Now they're in a position to win. But I mean, they still struggle. You know, they've still got weakness up front, haven't they? They've still not addressed that. They've only got Gyökeres for 10 minutes, by the way. Yeah, if Gyökeres doesn't score, they're playing Marino up front. I mean, after spending.
But he scores goals for them.
Yeah, but
they still win football games. Their midfield scores.
At the moment, they are, but it's not. It's the same as watching us last season. You can see the cracks, and if they're not addressed, it's not gonna. You know, it's a short-term thing.
They need to address one player. One crack. We need to address a million cracks.
Oh yeah, no, it's fully. I think they need 2 cracks because of Arteta. I still think he's the.
How many games has Slot left before they pull the plug?
I think he goes Sunday. I think he goes
it depends
Sunday.
on the result. If it's a bad enough result and the fans turn, because so far the fans have been a little bit. It's been a bit of a meh, hasn't it? It hasn't been like a. They've tried to back him rather than.
It hasn't been a vociferous kind
Yeah.
of.
No, the fans.
Get them out.
Listening to the fans last week, they're turning. They are turning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying is when they turn, he'll go. That's when they'll turn, because Edwards and Hughes are not. I don't think they're in a strong enough position to survive a big fan backlash. And at the moment, it's all going to be on Slot. But if it carries on for a while, and it's people are going to start questioning Hughes' recruitment as well too much, and then the pressure starts building on him as well. So they'll need to sack him fairly soon. If it carries on, they'll have to.
Right.
The next two games are West Ham United and Sunderland.
Yeah, and Sunderland are playing really well.
If we lose those, he's got to go. It won't be anything that could say.
And one thing you guys have got to understand as well: the away fans are a lot less forgiving than the home fans as well.
Yes,
completely.
So, if there's a negative result on Sunday, I think that's it. I think the fans will.
I think Sunday, unless it's a win Sunday, I think he's gone.
Yeah, I agree.
It's West Ham. You've got to beat them. They're in terrible form. They're not a good team. They've not got a good squad. You know what I mean? There's nothing about them that you should be looking at and saying this should be in doubt. The only way they should be looking at beating us is a freak result. Holding on for dear life and picking and getting a fluky goal, and that should be their only chance with what they've got in their team. I'm talking about. I'm not saying there's not a good side there at the moment. No. They've been ripped apart by David Sullivan's absolute ineptitude and stupidity. And they're in an absolute mess. They shouldn't stand a chance against us, but to be honest, they look like a better side.
They have a chance.
Well, not just a chance. I think they've got. I'd make them favourites.
Yeah, I agree.
I can see them winning. Yeah. I can.
And they shouldn't be, because they're in an absolute mess. They're a shambles.
All right. On that note, I'm going to ring Jurgen Klopp. And
beg him to come back, yeah.
Absolutely, mate. I'm going to ring his missus first.
You're going to go give him a Donald Trump to come back.
I'm gonna give Ula a call first, see if she's all right with him coming back, and then I'm going to beg them both to come back and save our club. Honestly, this is a shambles. This is absolutely ridiculous.
That is.
This is as bad as Hodgson.
It's relegation for
it is.
It's as bad as Hodgson.
And the end of the Rodgers era as well was. In fact, this is worse than what Rodgers was subjected to.
Exactly. This is Hodgson-esque.
Yeah.
This is Hodgson-esque. And Hodgson didn't have the money. Look at the players.
No money.
Yeah.
If he wasn't so stubborn, he could build a legacy for himself. He could possibly be up there with Jurgen Klopp. But for some reason, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I can't agree with that, mate. I don't think he hasn't got the potential to build a legacy like Jurgen. Jurgen was he was the fabric of this football club, as well as Shankly, Paisley, Dalglish, Rafa, maybe.
Go on, Badger.
Yeah, sorry. What I mean by that, Abbott, is to build a winning team. Like Jurgen, Slot is Slot. But if he just changed tactics, would just sit down and think about things, he could build a brilliant team, squad, whatever, to go on winning things.
But Barry,
now...
But Bazza, that's the point, mate. That's the point. I don't think he's the tactical genius that I thought he was. That's why I don't think he can build that team. And I think it's time for somebody new who can.
It's looking that way now, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, lads. I mean...
Cheers, Abbott.
Cheers. You really cheered me up. I'm so glad you're back. There was me saying I've missed you, and now I feel like fucking still. I feel like I'm gonna go hang myself off the balcony now.
Let me provide you with the rope, mate.
Yeah. You miserable bastard. Well, after all this, yeah. Good to have you back.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. See you later.
Take
Hey,
care.
Abbott.
See you
Bye.
later.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers. Bye bye.